Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about a project that we did with our grade 8s this year. It was called Create an Insect. In the past, we would normally just have the students pick an insect that they would research. They would find out pretty much every detail they could about the insect's life cycle, about its ecological niche, its classification, and then they would put this all onto a board, and that board would then be posted out in our hallway of our school. And the students would draw the anatomy, and a lot of these posters turned out beautifully. They were often in the shape of the insect, so they're quite nice to look at. But we wanted to give the students this year first the option to add something creative to the project. We also wanted to give the option of making it digital. And so what we did was we created Create an Insect project. And in this Create an Insect project, they had to first research an insect that already exists, and then they had to make an adaptation on that insect. So some sort of change that would make it suitable to an environment that it lives in. And then they would have to explain how their change basically does that. Like, why is it that maybe it makes it more better adapted to the heat because of a certain feature, or better adapted in motion because of a certain feature, and what is the environment like that it's in that causes it to have that adaptation. So we had already started the year using Google Sites with our students. They'd already been documenting a lot of things in our science class, and we decided that we would end up using Google Sites first to have them list all of their information about their insect, and then we were going to have them post a video that explains their insect and its adaptation, and then we also had them use in that video an animation. So we had him first make that animation using an app on the iPad called Animation Desk. And then we had them take that animation and incorporate it into a video on Explain Everything. And they did an audio recording over top of it, and then they ended up taking that and uploading it to their Google site with all their information. So I'm going to take you to a site of one of our students to show you some of his project and show you what he came up with. So here we have the project of one of our students in grade 8, Justin. He created an insect that basically has an adaptation of being able to make a screeching noise. And what he did was he researched already a mosquito, and then he modified that mosquito's species name to use a Latin term that helped represent his mosquito's noise that it makes and its adaptation. On his site here, you can see that he's got the ecological niche, the life cycle, is it an insect, and why it has a screech. He explains all those things to show his knowledge, understanding of the insect anatomy, which was something that we were learning about, his explanation of its adaptation and why it has it. It's talking about it to ward off predators, and then he actually has a description of this wing anatomy and explains how this adaptation works. In the video down here, there's a whole picture and explanation along with the references of the websites that he visited to get his research. If we go back up to his video here, we'll actually hear his explanation of this creature's adaptation.
Pulcidae stridens, the screeching mosquito created by Justin Belland. The screeching mosquito is based off the regular mosquito. The screeching mosquito's anatomy is that it has an abdomen at the back, a thorax, which is much thicker than the normal mosquito, so it can support its huge 5-centimeter wings, which allows it to beat their wings faster, which allows them to make the screeching sound, which I will explain in the next slide. Other parts of the anatomy is that it has its head, its proboscis at the front, both antennas, the front legs, and the hind legs. The key feature in the screeching mosquito that makes it different from the regular mosquito, it's on its wing. So as you can see here in this animation, the tooth organ, which is in green, is 3 times as large as the regular one. So you can see that the little spikes are rubbing against the stridulating organ, which is in yellow, which is 4 times as large. So this creates a buzzing sound, which goes through the amplifier tube, which is about the size of a vein. So the buzzing sound created by the stridulating organ and the tooth organ goes through the amplifying tube, and turns it into a screeching noise, then comes out the spout. The screeching noise sounds like this.